Okay, so we talked about in the other video, if you haven't seen it already, it's about clairsentient. So now we're going to talk about clairaudient, okay? Again, if you haven't seen my channel before, I am Chai, and I also have a YouTube channel called Channel Ascended, and I normally do tarot pick a cards, but today we're going to talk about the clairaudient ability, okay? Because we're talking about spiritual gifts. So for me, I honestly think that a lot of people have the ability to hear things telepathically. And clairaudient can come in many different forms, right? Because we're going to talk about how can we navigate and how can we discern. Because the thing about clairaudient is, okay, so what is, let's backtrack. What is clairaudient? So clairaudient is the ability to hear either in words or in like thought forms, right? So you can actually physically hear someone's voice in outside of yourself or inside your mind. Both are valid and both are considered clairaudient. So it doesn't make whether you have one or the other or both. It does not make you less than or more talented or more gifted than the other. Okay, so that's something that I need to clarify, because a lot of newly awakened will kind of wonder, like, okay, so does that mean that I am either, more specialized in this, or that's a different thing. But the thing is, everyone's gift is special. And however you receive these gifts are also very unique and special to you. Even if we have like very baseline, like common denomination in terms of like how the gifts are perceived or how it should be perceived. And the word should I say very lightly, because when it comes to your unique vibration, no one has the same vibration as you. We may carry similar vibration, right? Like, say, for example, I may have a blue auric field, but my blue is unique in its own pattern in comparison to other people. Just like how each person here on this planet or this realm, right, has very unique features. So, and then it's the same way for gifts. Some people will hear things from outside of themselves and will hear things in, maybe if you've heard of synesthesia, that's also highly connected to clairaudient. So I know I'm jumping from one thing to another, but it's all tied in together. And if you study synesthesia and telepathy together, you're gonna have a better understanding of what clairaudient really is. Okay. So for me, I'll take myself as an example. Initially, my clairaudient ability was only through my mind. Like, I would hear my own thoughts, but it's really not my thoughts. It's actually guided by the divine or my guides, my angels. But as of lately, for the past couple of years, I have been hearing actual thought forms coming from other people, and it's coming from outside of my ear, outside of myself, and outside, like, close to my ear. So, like, say, for example, I would walk past by someone and I would literally hear them say something, or say a couple of sentences, and they said that they didn't say anything. But when I repeated it back to them, they were like, how did you hear that? I didn't say that out loud, So clairaudient is a real thing. And that is something that you can definitely hone in on. Now, I cannot promise you on how advanced you can get, because every person is different. And just like exercise and how you would stretch your muscles and how you would exercise your muscles, right? It's the same thing with your spiritual gifts. You have to exercise your spiritual gifts as often as you can, in a proper way where you don't pull the muscle, right? So having a routine is very, very important. I know in this specific video, I seem to be hopping a lot, so maybe someone in the audience that's listening to me or watching right now is probably just very sporadic with their energy, which you can kind of, ground better. And if you start grounding your energy better, you can actually hone in your clairaudient ability better as well. So we can talk about how, like, how to hone in your clairaudient ability. Believe it or not, your ears are connected to your throat. So for you, and I'm talking to the person that needs some guidance in terms of like how to hone it, I recommend for you to actually speak things out loud, right? And listen to your voice and listen to sounds in a way that you've never listened to it before. That's a practice that you can do in order for you to actually get used to hearing vibration, because everything is transmuted and transformed into actual frequencies. Say, for example, if you have two people speaking, right, at the same time, you will notice one person will be louder than the other, always. There's never really like a person who's like around the same frequency. That's only because whoever's frequency is much clearer will kind of jump above the other person who's not as confident. So then the voice will kind of reverberate in a way that the other person's voice wouldn't, if that makes sense. It's the same thing with your ability. If you are confident in your ability will become stronger than the person who lacks the confidence in their gifts, right? So I hope you can follow through with this video, because I too also feel like I'm talking and I'm hopping from one lily pad to another. It's almost like a frog hopping from one lily pad to another on a pond. So if you've been seeing frogs, maybe that's a sign for you to confirm that you do have that clairaudient ability. So that's one practice that I do. And another one you can do is a mental exercise where you can imagine 2 dials, right? Actually 3 dials. You can imagine your dial, your right ear, right? Your right ear, from my point of view, is on the side, and then another dial, and then this is you, right? And this middle dial is you, but it's your confidence, your ego, your personality, your persona. I want you to tone down that dial so that you can actually tune in to the other 2 dials, if that makes sense. Just imagine you toning down the middle dial, and then you want to focus and pick one side. It doesn't matter which one you pick, doesn't matter which side, because it's really all about like what your comfortability level is. So you can pick, say for example, your right side, right? Usually I notice with lefties, we tend to pick mostly our right side first, right? For some reason, maybe because of the way that the brainwave pattern is for lefties, you know, because it controls the right side of the brain, and then and vice versa. So for me, I would work on my right side, my right ear first. So once I've already dialed down my middle, right, which is my ego, my conscience, my persona, whatever the makeup of me, right? And then I would tone up the dial. I'll imagine it in my brain, right, or in my mind, and I would imagine seeing that dial on my right ear turned up. And then I would close my eyes and I would try to only listen on this side. And this is a very good practice where you can close your eyes and try to listen for sounds that's coming from your right side of the ear. And that, my friends, I'm telling you, it's a game changer. Like, your clairaudient ability is gonna be hyped up. Like, it'll advance and really take flight. And then I would also do the same thing. Like, once I'm done with my right side practice, and only practice in routines. Like, say for example, if you say you're going to do this for 10 minutes, stick to your routine and stay accountable for what you want to stick with, because accountability is also one really great thing when it comes to you advancing in such a great way when it comes to, like, you know, your will, right? Your goals. So stay accountable. Don't go above and don't go under. Try to stick to 10 minutes if you can, if that's the number that you've chosen to do and practice. So once I'm done with my right side, I tune that down, and then, but I don't turn on the middle yet. I don't turn myself on. I only turn on my left side, and I do the same thing for my left side, and only try to listen to sounds that are coming